Kung Ei Fat Choi, everybody. A very happy Chinese New Year to all of you from us here in Hong Kong. And we're marking the occasion with a big 11-race card, chock full of quality at Sha Tin on Sunday afternoon. Here's what we've got coming up for you on Hong Kong Direct this week. And Ruan Maia is the new jockey in town. He'll be starting his stint in March, but we'll be chatting to him from quarantine this afternoon on the show. Golden 60 was amongst a host of stars of the trials on Tuesday. We'll bring you the latest on him and the other horses heading towards the major races in Hong Kong. And the Chinese New Year Cup is the traditional feature on Sunday. Paul Lally and myself will be hoping to find you the winner of that race. Paul, welcome along to the show. Before we get to Sunday and also our big races the week after, just looking back at Wednesday night, Casper found a couple of winners for him. They were important, weren't they? They
are, because the thing is, John Size has got some really good firepower. We know he starts off slowly, but he's got these rating 52 horses that come out. I'm thinking of horses like Sight Success, who's already won a couple. Courier Wonders come out in one fantastic way as well. And he's got lots of them sort of in store as well. So any wins Casper gets now is going to be a bonus.
And we're over the halfway mark of the season. Joe Moreira, the Magic Man, rode a 3-timer on Wednesday night. So that takes his lead ahead of Zac Purton to 30 wins. Is it all going to be a bit too hard now for the reigning champion jockey in Purton?
We can never write Zac off. He's a real competitor, Zac, but it's a decent margin. You'd rather be in Joe's shoes than Zac's at the moment. One thing in Zac's favour, though, I mean, Joe's had a couple of suspensions. He's got 4 meetings off now. So Zac will have the opportunity to try and peg it back a little bit, but looks a big ask, but you never write off Zac, I can tell you that.
Well, as of next month, Joe Moreira will be facing a familiar rival in the jockeys' room. The latest acquisition to the jockeys' ranks here in Hong Kong will be Ruan Maia. Ruan is already in Hong Kong, but is completing his quarantine at the moment and joins us now via Skype. Ruan, thank you so much for taking the time to join us on the show today.
Thanks so much for Edward to invite me for this interview. I'm happy to be here in Hong Kong. I just wait for the quarantine finish for me start to work, start to ride, you know.
What are you doing with yourself at the moment while you are in quarantine?
Woke up, breakfast. I had luck because the club put one treadmill for me, so I can run every day. So I keep in my form a little bit.
That's important because obviously you're a lightweight jockey. And let's look back at your career, Ruan. A few years ago you moved from Brazil to Macau. Why did you decide to come to this part of the world?
Because I saw many Brazilian jockeys ride outside. Sam Moreira, another few jockeys. So one dream for our jockey in Brazil move out. So I had the opportunity in November 2016, and I moved to Macau. I stayed there 3 years. I mean, I was very happy there, you know. I did a good job in Macau. After that, I had the opportunity to move to Singapore, and I stayed 1 year there. I did a good job, so opened the door for me coming to Hong Kong this time, you know.
Let's just talk a bit about that. So a good job in Macau, 2 championships over there, and then last season in Singapore, your only full season there, you came so close in the championship behind Vlad Jurek, who's a star jockey in Singapore. You must have been really pleased with the amount of success that you had at Kranji last year.
Yeah, yes, I was very happy in Singapore. I did a good job there. I lost the premiership only for 3 winners, but I was very happy because my first season, always when you start a new place, is not easy, you know. But I was happy. I did a good job. I got many winners, Group 1 winners. So I'm very happy to had this opportunity now for coming to Hong Kong, you know, because before, when I live in Macau, I visited Moreira many times, watched Hong Kong races, so it's amazing for me.
Has Moreira, what he's been able to do in Singapore and now in Hong Kong, you obviously rode against him in Brazil too, but what Joe's done, has that inspired you?
Yeah, yes, I'm very happy. He say for me, it's a good opportunity, you know, and he happy for me also to enjoy him here.
We're actually talking to you at a time where you're still the leading jockey in Singapore, even though you left there last week and missed out on a few meetings recently there as well too due to suspension. Was it a difficult decision for you, Ruan, to come to Hong Kong, given how much success you've been having in Singapore?
Yes, for me it's no difficult decision, Edward, because always I look forward. I look for improving myself. And I had this opportunity to move to Hong Kong, and I just say okay because I know it's very good opportunity for our jockey. So I started very good in Singapore this new season. I leave Singapore leading jockey, but riding Hong Kong is one dream for me. So I just say okay, and I come straight.
It's fantastic that you're getting that opportunity to live that dream. We're excited to have you here. You start in March riding here on race day and race night in Hong Kong. What are your expectations about riding against some of the jockeys here in Hong Kong, Ruan?
I expect it very nice, It's happy because you see many good jockeys, very competitive race, I have also Wagner Bars is 1 year already in Hong Kong, so this is very nice for enjoy Moreira in the bars and the our jockeys Hong Kong race. So I'm very happy. I will try my best for do good job, and we see how happy,
And racing, just a final question for you, Ruan. Racing in Asia is different to other jurisdictions around the world. So you've had experience in Macau, in Singapore. You've actually ridden at Sha Tin before on the interport meetings. All of those experiences for you, do you think they will help you coming to Hong Kong?
Yes, this helped me a lot because when I start Hong Kong, I need to get more experience, So my 3 years in Macau give me more experience. When I moved to Singapore, I can improve more my skill, myself. So I think the 2 times I rode in Hong Kong also, I see how they race. And I believe I improve a lot after my 3 years in Macau. When I move to Hong Kong, give me more experience. So now I'm ready to try my new job in Hong Kong.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing you out on the track at the start of March, Ruan. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us, and we look forward to talking to you soon at the track work and at the barrier trials when you're out of quarantine. All the very best.
Thanks so much, Aaron. I'm appreciate to give this interview, and hopefully I can do a good job in Hong Kong also, and just wait for my quarantine finish. Thanks so much.
Thanks to Ruan Maia there. I'm rejoined in the studio by Paul Lally. Paul, on your numerous trips to the races in Macau, you've seen Ruan in action. What are your thoughts on him joining us here in Hong Kong?
I think he's a very good jockey, and he's, as you touched on in that interview, he's got the advantage that he's been here in Asia since 2016. He's ridden those two years in Macau, rode really well over there, and I know he was highly thought of there, and he's gone to Singapore and applied his trade there. So, look, I've got no reason to suggest he's not going to be very successful here. We've seen the Brazilian jockeys do well, and he's got advantage over Wagner Borges because he's had that extra experience as well.
Let's just have a look at those stats from his time in Singapore as well too. So he's based full-time there from the beginning of the 2020 season. Their seasons are in calendar years. 70 wins to 62 for last season, 8 already this season. He's currently the leading jockey in Singapore. And interesting to note, Paul, he had a really high strike rate on the poly track in Singapore. So it will be interesting to see if he's particularly successful on the all-weather track that we've got at Sha Tin.
Well, it can't hurt, can it? He obviously can ride that track pretty well over there. So obviously it depends on the horses that he gets on. That's going to be the key. But look, he's obviously going to be popular. I think he's a lightweight jockey, and he's been in Asia. He's probably got those contacts with those Macau connections here. He's been to Sha Tin before, obviously, with those interport races. So there's a couple of things in his favour coming here.
On a more broad note then, Paul, having an extra lightweight jockey in the jockeys room as of early March, how would that change the dynamics of things for the riders here in Hong Kong?
Well, it gives the trainers another option, doesn't it? They've got these another lightweight. Sometimes they're sort of scrambling around for a lightweight jockey. So it just gives them another option there. And it puts a little bit of pressure probably on the lighter weighted jockeys like Wagner Borges, Karras, etc. And Matthew Chadwick, they can ride at 113. The competition is going to be more around them rather than the sort of the heavyweight jockeys like Zach and Neil Callan and Joe to a degree as well.
Yes, the consistent arrival of top-class jockeys from all around the world is one of the reasons why Hong Kong is known as being one of the most competitive jurisdictions in the world. We've got plenty coming up in part 2 of Hong Kong Direct. We'll be looking at what the stars of Hong Kong racing have been up to lately, and we'll also look at the pick of Sunday's action. Time for a break. Plenty more, though, after this.